We've gone live. I'll just make you a host, Prabhuji. 1 minute.
Yes, Mataji. And then I'll make you a host.
Yes. You're the host now, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. So I've confirmed you as a co-host. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Let us have an energetic Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna. Hare
Krishna. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Can we hear from all? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful, wonderful. Hare Krishna. So we start with the 17th chapter. Once again, welcome to Bhagavad Gita for adults and youth class at 9 p.m. And it is conducted by Sri Radha Govinda Temple, ISKCON, Mangaluru. Hare Krishna. My humble obeisance to Radha Govinda and Srila Prabhupada. उमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो 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 विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So all glories to the disciplic succession, our founder Acharya, his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Yesterday, we saw his fearlessness. His name is Abhay Charana, Hare Krishna. He is the epitome of fearlessness. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj and our present temple president, His Grace Namanishta Das Prabhuji, because of which the online session is happening from the COVID time. So this is our parampara. We know this is our parampara. It is directly coming, unconcocted, without addition, without deletion, as it is. Bhagavad Gita as it is. I hope everybody has bought the book by this time. And it is coming from Krishna to Brahma to Narada, and in the disciplic succession to Bhakti Vinod Thakur, then to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and to Srila Prabhupada, and to ourselves. And everything that is being taught or teaching, whatever teaching we're able to give, that's all absolutely without any addition, any subtraction from the purports of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So, what was the last chapter we discussed? What is the name of the last chapter? Anyone quickly? That was also Samtraya Vibhaga Yoga.
That was Deva Asura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Mataji. Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. So the division of divine and demoniac
Demonic
qualities.
qualities.
So now we are coming to Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. So Traya is again three, Vibhaga is division, Yoga is connection to Krishna, and Shraddha is the faith. So what happens to the faith at with the different gunas and different qualities that now Krishna is going to tell us. So there are three sections. One from 1 to 2 is the principle. 3 to 22 is aspects of the lifestyle that we look at. what kind of food, what kind of thought, what kind of speech, what kind of posture of body, all that will be part of this and the final conclusion. So lifestyle choices and consequences also will look at. So we start with chapter 16. That is what we learned in yesterday. As Mataji had just told, it is about the divine and the demoniac qualities. So what Krishna explained was that we can elevate through those divine qualities. If you are inculcating those qualities, then with those qualities we'll go to the sattva. And I mean, because divine qualities are uh, and most of the sattva qualities or the sattva qualities are the divine qualities. So with that quality, we move upward in the tree. So the top is the Brahma, and above that we cross the border of desire, because the reflection is through the desire. So we cross that, and then we are able to liberate ourselves. So that is what the main objective was Krishna told uh, about the divine qualities. He also talked about the demoniac qualities. What happens to the demoniac qualities? That the qualities and the mentality which drives one to the lower part of the trees. And what are the lower part of the trees? The different different planes, different those hellish planets, and so on. Right. So in chapter 16, Krishna also established there is one important thing when we read about faithful followers of the scripture. So people who faithfully follow the scripture, they are supposed to be part of the divine quality. And who do not follow, they are supposed to be part of the demonic quality. Now comes the question of Arjuna. When Krishna says that, you know, faith with the scripture and faith without the scripture. Now he's coming with a new question. Arjuna is coming with a new question saying, what happens if the faith is not to the scriptures, but the faith is to something? It is not faithless absolutely, but it is faith to some you know uh, uh, some concocted faith, some imagined faith, something they have constructed by their psychological circus or whatever. But there is a faith. There is some way of worshipping they are doing. It is not mentioned anywhere in the Shastra, but they are religiously doing that. Let's say, if that is so, which is not part of the scripture, then what happens to them? And not only what happens to them, then which category you will bracket them? Will you call them sattvic, or call them rajasic, or you call them tamasic? What? And next is, where is he situated now? Because sattva in any case will go up. So now it will decide that that kind of faith falls into which category. That is the part of the question. And second part of the question is, okay, then where will be? He will be in the bottom of the tree, middle of the tree, top of the tree, or transcendent the tree. Now Krishna will answer. With this comes chapter 17. So this is how the flow of chapter. First, the Arjuna's inquiry about unauthorized worship. Lord Krishna answers. Three modes determine one's faith and worship both. And also this most important part in this chapter, we'll be discussing about the food, that with the different qualities, what kind of food they take, how by the quality of the gunas, or by the various gunas like sattva, raja, and tama, how that drive the propensity towards the food. That also we'll see. And what kind of sacrifices each of this person do. That is from 11 to 13. Then austerity. So there are three parts, in fact. So one is with respect to food, then with respect to sacrifice, with respect to austerity, with respect to charity. All this we'll see what happens to all this in case of each of the category of the gunas that is Sattva, Raja, and Tama. What they do? What is their thought at that point of time? Uh, what kind of time they choose to do all that? So all that we'll discuss. And finally, the Hari Om Tat Sat will discuss in detail. So coming to Arjuna's first question, as he asked, "O Krishna, what is the situation of one who does not follow the principles of scripture but worships according to his own imagination?" So he's using the word imagination. So there are so many people who have imagined some kind of uh, God. Even today in Kali Yuga, people have created, even human gods, and also some kind of non-human gods also, which are not part of the scripture, not in any of the shastras, but they somehow do it because those are concoctions, whatever they made based on their convenience, based on their whatever beliefs or their some kind of you can say mental circus, whatever you name it. So he's asking, is he in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance? So the example is given here. Like Scientology, it is saying basically science and technology. So science, okay, in science. So if you compare, let's say, science with the scripture, just for the comparison sake, just for the making the metaphor well, to understand the metaphor well. Let's say science says that there are some principles of aviation, so based on which, uh, you know, the airplane has to have a particular type of thrust, and there has to be a particular type of buoyancy, and based on that, it can cross the the weight of the plane and it can fly. So this is the science. From there, so what is a plane? It is a matter. What it can do? It can fly. Now, from there is a mental concoction somebody is making, which is not part of science, means which is not part of the scripture. Now he's saying he's imagining a flying spaghetti monster. So he's taking a spaghetti as a matter, flying as an possibility, and then a monster. So this is what a mental concoction is all about, and this is what Arjuna is talking about, the imagination. So some people imagine some of the, let's say, we'll see that in a particular mode they worship even the ghosts and goblins and all that. There the imagination works well, and some people are very very fantastic imagination they have, that we'll see. So now Krishna answers. Sri Bhagavan uvacha trividha bhavati shraddha dehinam sa swabhavaja satviki rajasi chaiva tamasi cheti tam shrunu. Sometimes he said tat shrunu, now he's saying tam shrunu. So please listen. So see, trividha bhavati shraddha. So faith is, there are three types of faith, three vidha, three types. Dehinam so swabhavaja. So this is the Supreme Lord said, according to the modes of the nature acquired by the embodied soul, that is a dehina. Dehinasmin jatha dehe komaram jovan itara. So soul is always referred as dehi because he is inside the deha, or rather he is keeping the deha. That way. So one's faith can be three kinds. That is goodness, passion, and ignorance. Now hear about this. So he's saying clearly that there are even the faith. It is not that. So this is very, very interesting. So if we think that our faith is ours, I believe this. My faith is that, you know, something, some if I chant some kind of gibberish, I'm just saying, giving an example. If I chant some kind of gibberish, then I'll get a shunya kind of a meditation, and I'll be mindless. Let's say there is some kind of faith somebody is having. So where from this faith is coming? He will say, "This is my faith." But Krishna is saying there is nothing like your faith. It is all coming from your particular type or category of guna or the quality. Either it is coming from the divine quality or it is coming from the demonic quality. So let's look at that. Those three cases, what is happening. So now he's saying, so Tamashi cheti tam srunu. So now let us hear from Krishna. So 17.3 he's saying, according to one's existence under the various modes of nature, one evolves a particular kind of faith. According to one's existence under the various modes of nature. I think that is what we clarified in previous verse. And the living being is said to be of a particular faith according to the modes of he has acquired. So how he's acquiring these modes? He's acquiring these modes through various kinds of attachments. So the Rajasic person is acquiring this mode by continuously endeavoring for some kind of sense gratification and further. Tamasic is already into intoxication and desiring more intoxication, all that. So because of all those desire and attachment, these modes, you are in these modes. Now, aspects of lifestyle. This is quite relevant to today's society where we are now. We can very well relate, even not with respect to the spiritual plane that Krishna is talking about, but just in our normal material life, we can say that life is all about the choices we make. The choice of faith and worship, the choice of food, the rituals, the conduct, speech, mind control, charity, all this even decides what kind of person we are in the society also. Like somebody, uh, not doesn't conduct well or always foul speaking, then what kind of personality he'll be treated as in the normal society also. But here Krishna is talking about the spiritual context of it, that in the three gunas, how all this differs from one guna to other. How the rituals differ, how the food differ, how the speech differ, how the mind control differ. Even the charity, if somebody is doing some kind of charity, based on his guna, how the time, the person, the choice, all that, how differs, we'll see. So I think the best example we know all of them. They're the personalities of Ramayana. So we know Vibhishana, we know Ravana, we know Kumbhakarna, right? So Ravana wanted to be immortal. So he wanted that boon. Brahma, as usual, said that I am not mortal, so how can I make you give you that boon? Then again, like Hiranyakashipu, he also thought absolutely as far as possible to become immortal. And what he asked some kind of invincibility and immunity from 84 lakhs of species, including all. As he can enumerate, he has just given the list, the full list, the devas, the rakshasas, the heavenly spirits, serpents, spirits, beasts, this and that, all. He tried to cover up everything, somehow forgot about the human. And thereby, Sri Ram came and we know how Ravana was killed. So, uh, what you think Ravana, the guna of Ravana is? What kind of guna? It is a Raja or Tama? Anyone?
Ravana was actually a Brahmin while he was born. So
Right?
actually, it's Rajas.
Yes. So by his conduct, by his speech, because he was not speaking truth to Sita Mata, right?
Exactly.
So neither he was truthful, and he was doing all sorts of mischief. So all and do what? Get something. So continuous endeavoring to rule, to enjoy, to do all that. So definitely it's coming under the Rajasic, you know, uh, quality, right? And what about Kumbhakarna? Kumbhakarna case is the most interesting part. Kumbhakarna, in fact, tried to ask something, but he got something else. Wanted to have the seat of Indra. So he asked Indrasana, means the seat of Indra. However, due to his illusion at the last moment, he pronounced it little differently and he said Nidrasana, that is state of sleep. And instead of asking for Nirdevatam, that is non-existent Devtas, he asked for Nidravatam, that is continuously. So what has happened? The boon was granted. However, then he said, no, I have done a mistake. Please do something, Brahmaji. Please do something. So once boon granted, it cannot be taken back. So there was a little, you can say, um, permission. And that was that Kumbhakarna sleep for 6 months. And when he woke up, he would eat and for full day and then again go to sleep. So a beautiful case of Tama here. Vibhishana was an unusual Rakshasa because when Hanuman entered Sri Lanka or Lanka, so many, everyone was, on in the because he wanted to actually enter in the night time. So he saw everyone is engaged in intoxication, this and that. There is the Harinam coming from only one particular house, that is Vibhishana. So he was on the side of the Dharma, though he was born in the Rakshasa, dynasty. So he prayed, and he always upheld Dharma, and he came to Rama, in fact, and prayed him that please make me part of yours, and I'll help you. So Brahma granted his prayers. So he is in the same family, as you were saying, in the same family we saw all the qualities. He's definitely of Sattva quality, right? So life lesson is we are a sum total of various choices we make. So what food, what conduct, what speech, what charity, all this together, what kind of mind, what kind of speech, all this together, it decides who we are. So 17.4, Yajante Satviko Devan, Yaksha Rakshami Rajasaha, Pretan Bhuta Ganam Chanye, Yajante Tamasaha Janaha. Men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods. Interesting. Those in the mode of passion worship the demons. And those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits and goblins or whatever you can name. So the worship, the type of worship which is also mentioned by all the three kinds of people is that somebody who is in goodness, they will worship demigods. Please let us, mark it very, very sharply. It is said they worship demigods, not Krishna. Because the moment they worship Krishna, they will actually cut off the tree and they will go. But they worship demigods because they were in Sattva and they will go to some higher planets, enjoy there, come back, might do some sin, go to the hell, may come back. All this, circling will happen. And in the mode of passion, worship the demons. And who are demons? For example, you know, on the 16th chapter, we discussed that. What happened in Treta Yoga and what happened in Satya Yoga, where they were in different planets. Then they came to the same planet but a different country. Then they came to the same family. And in Kali Yoga, it's the same person. So who are the demons now? Are you finding any demon in Kali Yoga? Then we can indicate these are the people basically. Demons are what? Like hoarding things, trying to enjoy, doing everything. So there are so many, uh, demons we see all around. There could be, celebrities also. There could be who people celebrate like anything, but they're all into the hellish activities. There could be politicians. There could be some powerful people. So many are there in Kali Yuga who would be, related as demons. So the people with goodness worship demigods. So for wealth, they might go to Lakshmi Mataji. For knowledge, they might go to Ganesh Ji. For Kubera Ji for more and more wealth, and so on. Right. And what happens to those who are in the tamas or the ignorance? They worship ghosts and spirits. Anyone know? Anyone, by the way, know? Because it seems to be little interesting. Anyone knows who worship actually ghosts and spirits? Other we know. Correct. Anyone, I mean, around you, or you have heard or heard in the news or anything? Hare Krishna. You can put it in the chat also. Yeah, Prasiddhi Bhushan Prabhuji. Yes.
Yeah, I heard about this one. Actually.
Yeah, I'm saying not in story or somewhere. I mean, really, there are people, there are tribes, there are sects, there are certain traditions where actually they worship ghosts and goblins, and
Yeah,
it is there,
yeah, I know it actually.
right? So
Actually, yeah, actually, in Udupi only they do it as Bhutakola and all, in Telugu.
correct. Hare Krishna, absolutely, and all this black magic stuff and all comes from there only. So this is what they worship. Demigods, and on the right hand side also demigods, and here on the left the ghosts and spirits. So destiny, if worship Krishna, then we go to Vaikuntha, where there is no Kunta, there is no anxiety. And what is that verse? Anyone remember? Which says that uh, once in my abode, there is no requirement of sun, there is no requirement of any moon, and it is self-lighted, and whoever goes once, nobody returns. What was that? Yat katva na nivartante tadhamam paramam mama. Right. Now demigods worship, they go to heaven, demons to hell, and ghosts and spirits to ghostly planet. Ghostly planets, the most dangerous to go. So supreme is one. So this is a question which we must contemplate on. Supreme is one, we know that. We know Arjuna has already said, Krishna himself has said, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. So he is the Supreme Personal Godhead. So by definition, there can be only one Supreme. Because what was the definition? The definition was that who is the Supreme? Nobody is equal to him, nobody is greater than him. So there can be only one. So then why? So therefore, don't get short-changed. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Krishna is there with us. So why to go for all others that we just discussed about? Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic worship. So best worship is Hare Krishna. There is another question which comes. If there is one God, which we know now, as Prabhupada says that why you named ISKCON initially, when in 69, within 1 year he founded ISKCON, right? So when he said that, I'll name it International Society of Krishna Consciousness, then some people said that, no, rather you make it International Society of God Consciousness. Then Prabhupada said, no, but I know who is God. I know. If I know you by your name, Prasiddhi Bhushan Prabhuji, then I'll ask Prasiddhi Bhushan Prabhuji. I'll not say, some your position or whatever. Right. Right.
Yes, Prabhu.
However, if this is so, why so many religions have come up? So this is the answer. The answer is as the natural instinct is different based on the mode. We saw based on the mode, the instincts becomes different. At the moment instincts become different, then it will rise to various kinds of religions. However, the essential message is the same. What is happening is the details may vary depending on the audience. So the variance is coming from the guna, and therefore so many religions are there. And in the process, what came from the parampara, and if it is not going in the parampara, it is lost, and some concocted thing is going on. Right. So now 17.5 and 6. अशास्त्रविहितं घोरं तप्यन्ते ये तपोजनाः दम् दम्भाहङ्कारसंयुक्ताः बलान्विताः कर्षयन्तः शरीरस्थं भूतग्राममचेतसः मां चैवान्तशरीरस्थं तन्नि तन्निब्ध्या सूरनिश्चयान्. So those who undergo severe austerities and penances not recommended in the scriptures, performing them out of pride, egotism, lust, and attachment, who are impelled by passion and who torture their bodily organs as well as the super soul dwelling within, are to be known as demons. So Krishna is saying all these demons who are doing such kind of austerities by torturing their body, that is, he doesn't recommend it, first, number one. And secondly, he's saying that this is whoever does is, I'm calling them demons. Because why they are doing all this? They're doing all this not for reaching Krishna or not for liberation. They are doing for either out of pride or out of egotism, because they want to be better than others. They want to lord over this, universe. For example, let's say uh, Ravana or Hiranyakashipu. So they not only not, tortured themselves, I mean their own body, like Ravana cut off his heads and all that, and Hiranyakashipu became in fact absolutely skeletal. They tortured others also. Hiranyakashipu didn't, he tortured so many people. He tortured his son, Prahlad Maharaj. So therefore, Krishna is saying that out of pride, egotism, lust, and attachment, they do all this kind of nonsense, that is trying to be, you know, showing off primarily, that, oh, this torture I can do to myself. For example, this person who is digging his head inside. So he's trying to showing off something which doesn't mean anything. In fact, this happens in our lives also. Somebody who is, let's say, angry with you, in the family, I'm saying, in the family, if somebody is angry, then he will just say that, okay, I'll not eat today. Then you will try to pacify that why you're not eating, etc. So he's showing off his kind of austerity by not eating, but actually it is not an austerity. It is just a showing off. So therefore, Krishna is, absolutely against it. He's saying they are called demons. Now we are coming to food. We talked about what kind of worship they do, like the Sattvic go to demigods, the Tamasic goes to the ghosts, and the Rajasic go to the demons, celebrities, this and that. Now Krishna is talking about the food. This is very, very important. I think most important part of chapter 17. So let's just go through it. Foods in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, satisfaction. What else you want, actually? I'm asking. Such nourishing foods are sweet, juicy, fattening, and palatable. So we can very well connect what kind of fruit it is. Juicy means definitely it is, some fruit, some sweet, very palatable. Foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, pungent, hot, these are called those people who eat that, they are supposed to be in the modes of passion, or those food are called Rajasic food. So we can see here, you know, there is a beautiful kheer there, there is a fruit, there is a banana is there. So everything that is mentioned here, some sweet, some juicy, uh, a beautiful prasadam, which is offered to Krishna. So this is sattvic food, and you can see, very hot in those fast food stalls and other things. You can see in the Chinese stalls and all hot stuff, and there are some, different packaged products of chips and this and that. Too sour, too salty, too pungent. In fact, they advertise that way also. Tangy, this and that, whatever. So as if that is supposed to, uh, you know. Uh, take us or liberate us from this earthly world. But that is Rajasic. So Rajasic will be always depressed, will always have anxiety. So such foods cause pain, distress, and disease. So one thing we understand, at least from the medical point of view also, that if you are taking too much of salt, it might, lead to blood pressure, or too much of, this Rajasic food, uh, for example, pungent or hot, etc. Too hot, it might lead to, let's say, gastric and acidity. That is understood. But Krishna is saying it will create pain, distress, not only disease. So why to go for Rajasic food? Now food cooked more than 3 hours before being eaten. like, keeping it in the refrigerator and things like that, which is tasteless, stale, putrid, decomposed, and unclean, is food likely by people in the mode of ignorance. So it is not that every time the stale food is only tamasic. Even the food which is, you know, cooked and taken after 3 hours, that also become tamasic. All the packaged products we can see, all become tamasic by default. And what to talk of alcohol, which is absolutely coming from the decomposed, stale products. We can see the germs inside. So what we are, what we you are what you eat, or we are what we eat. That's very, very simple. So let us take an example. Now concentrate on this. Just focus on this. You get you get home after a long day, a tiresome day, either in office or business, and you see these food stuff on the table. The very, very unique kind of food. So on one side you can see some bread with some jams, then a banana with jelly and bread. Then there is a pizza, but pizza with some kind of gulab jamun. Very, very, different. So do you eat it or get grossed out? Grossed out is what? I mean, basically fed up. What do you do? Do
Crossed
we
out.
eat grossed out? Okay. Do we eat it? Again, the question is coming. Do you eat it or grossed out? So Prasid
Crossed
Bhushan will say again grossed out. Now comes the last part. What if you are famished? Means very, 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 very hungry. What happens?
There's no choice. You have to eat whatever is there.
There is no choice. Okay, there is a choice. For example, if there is no choice for a cow, the cow will not take meat, right?
Yeah, it
Yes or
stays
no?
hungry. Or
It
it
stays
goes
hungry.
in search of grass.
Yes. So even cow has that understanding. So this was an analogy of lust and love. So just understand that what is the difference. So libation, we are not vegetarians, we are prasadatarians. Because when we offer bhoga, now the prasada is with the saliva of Krishna. So it is transcendental. Because if we do not offer and eat, then we have already read that we are eating sins and we are thieves. So how to prepare bhoga for Krishna? Cooking with good consciousness, not thinking or scheming, etc. And then cooking. So whatever thoughts we are having, everything will enter into the food. And that is the whole reason why mother's food is the most tasty. Because she doesn't think anything. She's making it for her children whom she loves. So along with the various ingredients and the food stuff, the love also melts into the roti or the rice. So offering to Krishna with love and devotion, correct mood for offering, honoring Krishna Prasad, the results of taking Krishna Prasad, we know. Prabhupada, in fact, when he started with the hippies who are, absolutely unregulated of all kinds, the list that was given, I think most of the list was, uh, you know, applicable to them. Everything they were doing, intoxication and whatnot. He started with giving them prasadam, and he was cooking. He was a great cook by himself. And this prasadam changed them and then brought them to the Hare Krishna movement. That's the power of Mahaprasad, which is given and offered to Krishna. It transcends, it becomes spiritual. So 17.11 of sacrifices, that sacrifice. Now, we completed worship, we completed food, right? Now we'll go to sacrifices. That sacrifice performed according to duty and to scriptural rules and with no expectation of reward. So there are clauses is of the nature of goodness. So it is not that anything and everything just by giving it become a good. That means I have some money. I find someone on the road and just I give it. Let's say by default it will not come under goodness. Whereas in society it is given so much of importance that people are just giving charity. But Krishna is mentioning here categorically that those clauses are required. First of all, it is to be sacrificed has to be according to the duty and as per the scriptural rules. Would be what? It basically at what time we are giving, to whom we are giving, is it deserving, and with no expectation of reward, most importantly, and is of nature. And then it. So Krishna is. So when we are chanting Hare Krishna, that is also a sacrifice because Yajnana Japo Yajnasmi. Among the sacrifices in the Kali Yuga, Japa is the sacrifice. So when we are chanting Hare Krishna, that is also the best sacrifice. And Krishna is not. See, this statement is very, very. It just made me really, really cry, so to say. Krishna is not in the holy name. He is the holy name. Just focus on it. Krishna is not in the holy name. He is the holy name. We know in the four yogas, in this Kali Yuga, mantra meditation or chanting is the only sacrifice. But what happens now, as per Arjuna, what happens to others who do not do this? So, what happens to, let's say, the mode of passion? What happens? Let's see. So, chanting, we just talked about it. But that sacrifice performed for some material end or benefit. That is basically in a business transaction. If I do this, then I'll get something. Like Dronacharya was, making this sacrifice, making a great yajna to get Drushtadumna. But he got Draupadi by chance, who became the, ultimately the reason for the entire devastation. But that sacrifice performed for some material end or benefit or performed ostentatiously out of pride is of nature of passion. So many people do this, various pujas, uh, doing some kind of puja for getting son, some kind of yajna for getting wealth, some kind of this for some education, or getting out of from some hurdles. So many things people do. So those are called the nature of passion. The sacrifice, that kind of sacrifice is under passion. And the third kind of sacrifice, that is the in the nature of ignorance. And that sacrifice performance in defiance of the scriptural injunctions, in which no spiritual. So there are again, four things are required in which sorry, four things are they do not follow, which are supposed to be followed. Number one is that no spiritual food is distributed. Number two, there are no hymns which are chanted. No remunerations are made to the brahmanas. And ultimately, it is a faithless sacrifice. That sacrifice is out of nature of ignorance. So we can take the example of Bhasmasura, who is not doing any of this. When he was, as SEVA is, Ashutosha. So anybody who does any kind of sacrifice and remembers him with the sacrifice, he comes and gives the boon. So Bhasmasura was also, he was not doing anything. He was not like distributing some prasadam, or he was not chanting any hymns. He was not giving any remuneration to the Brahman. Nothing of this sort he was doing. What he was basically asking, he wanted that he will have the full power, and should have the power to destroy the universe. So finally he got the boon that whoever he touches, he will just get vanished, full, just vanish into ashes. Now he thought to try it on Shiva. Now Shivji thought what to do. He went to Vishnu, and Vishnu says, okay, fine. Let me think. He immediately, you know, he turned himself into the Mohini, the beautiful, enchanting, woman, and then this Bhasmasura got attracted, and he was so much attracted and lusty that whatever she was doing, he was ready to follow. And in the process of the dance, as a dance teacher, he placed his hand on his own head. This Bhasmasura also put on his own head, and then he was destroyed. This is the uh, you know he got the boon. Everything happened, but everything happened out of ignorance. He could have asked for liberation also. So whoever has, in fact, will see all the demons who worship Shivaji, Brahmaji. No one, no, none of the demonic nature people actually ask for liberation. They want to lord over. As I was saying yesterday, that Lord is supposed to lord over. That is fine because He's the Lord. He's the supreme personality of Godhead. But any other being tries to lord over, then that is not acceptable. So sacrifices in modes: goodness out of duty, no expectation, proper time, place, worthy person, expect and passion, expect returns for enjoyment, grudging mood, in ignorance, impure place, improper time, unworthy person. We'll now see in details. Uh, so little back, let's go. So in ignorance, what is happening is they are not doing it the proper place, not even choosing the right time, and also giving to an unworthy person. We'll see that in picture, through different pictures also. Then conduct, speech and mind, austerity of body, speech and mind. Now let us talk about these three. What happens to these three in the three modes? So Deva Divya Guru Pragya Pujanam Saucham Arjavam Brahma Brahmacharyam ahimsa cha shariram tapa uchyate. The austerity of the body consists in this worship of Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the spiritual master, Guru, and superiors like Father, Mother, cleanliness. Cleanliness we talked about as part of the divine nature. Simplicity, all these are part of divine nature in any case. So cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence are also austerities of the body. And this is very much required to be at sattva, then move to Shuddha sattva, and then get liberation. This is the minimum which is Krishna is asking. So when we talk about, let's say, we understand what is cleanliness, what is simplicity. We discussed that yesterday. Simplicity is basically no duplicity. Kaya no manasa pacha. No, it's congruent with whatever we think, whatever our bodily symptoms, and whatever we speak. Everything is supposed to be congruent. And celibacy also has to be understood that different ashramas in the brahmacharya asrama, before entering into grihastha asrama, celibacy is to be complete celibacy. In grihastha asrama, it is according to the shastra, means only for the purpose of having Krishna conscious children and not for sense enjoyment. So therefore, out of the four regulative principles, illicit sex is also there. And non-violence are also austerities of the body. No self-harm, no suicide. So what is the lesson? Self-torture to threaten others or torturing others to get my way, both are detrimental to human part of our life. We understand this very well. So self-torture, so they are thinking that by torturing, doing severe austerities, will achieve Krishna. Krishna is saying, no, this is not what I want. I want loving service. Patram puspam phalam toyam yame bhaktya prayachati tadam bhaktya aprutam asnami pratat minaha yat karosi yat asnasi yat juhosi. So sacrifice. Yat karosi yat asnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat tapassusi kontaya tat kurusva madarpana. He has already said. So unless it is given to him, then it will fall under all these different gunas. It will not become transcendental. Okay. So now 17.15. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priya hitam cha yat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vanmayam tapa uchyate, austerity of speech. So basically speaking truth. So consistent speaking truthfully, and it should not be only truthful, but it should be beneficial to others, and in avoiding speech that offends. This is, I mean, we are full of such people around. We are also one of them. Not that we are excluded. Sometimes we might be, saying truth, but not necessarily really it is beneficial, and not necessarily it is avoiding. It is not offending. It might offending also. So if you want to be the platform, that all this you have to check, supposed to check. One should also recite the Vedas regularly. That's part of its scriptural injunctions he has already mentioned before. So he's the best example of truthfulness is no other than Yudhishthira Maharaj, because he never said a lie in his whole life except one. That too, Krishna was finding it so difficult to convince him to tell to Dronacharya, like Aswatthama Hata, and then what? Nareva Gunjare. So that is the just one lie.
Ashwatthamaha Kunjara.
Yeah, Nareva Gunjare, right.
Yeah.
So he was right, but not right as well. So speech. Now let us talk about speech. Goodness, that is sattva, truth, pleasing, beneficial, passion, manipulative, gossip as per their selfish needs, because they have to be manipulative because they want to go up, go up, go up. So they want gossip, they want manipulation, they need to do manipulation because that is their interest, and selfish needs, working always for their selfish needs, and ignorance, of course, the gone cases, lying, agitating, harming. So this is very interesting. Lying, you know, some of us may be thinking, I was also thinking at some point of time that lying, perhaps there can be some kind of, absolutely, um, what is it called? Harmless lie. Sometimes we say no, harmless lie. But see, lying is coming under ignorance of speech, under tamoguna, and tamoguna leads to the hell. It is, let us just focus on this. Agitating, harming. So in Shuddha Sattva, the best speech is singing the glories of the Lord. So Shuddha Sattva is a state which is beyond Sattva, because Sattva ultimately rests at Brahma, doesn't go beyond. Shuddha Sattva with the platform which leads to Krishna. Live lesson applied. So now we can apply this filter. Once we know this, anytime we speak, just we have to ask three questions. Is it true? Then speak. Is it pleasing? Then speak. Is it beneficial? If all three are there, let us speak. Otherwise, what's the point? Then mind. Goodness. The people with goodness are always satisfied, content. We see many such people, even not necessarily there in the have in the spiritual journey. They might be in their previous birth, but maybe today we see that they're neither maybe may not be doing as per the scriptures or whatever, but somehow they are getting it from their previous birth also, because they have done all that in their previous birth. That is also possible. So that some of the people you see always satisfied and content. They don't, unnecessarily endeavor. Whatever is given to them, they're fully satisfied. I'm okay. And you always see a smile on their faces. Some people, always, not a fake smile, but a genuine smile. They are supposed to be in sattva and passion, always dissatisfied, always anxious. We find all of them, right? Anxious, so taking anxiety medicines, dissatisfied, so arriving into all kinds of diseases. Ignorance, absolutely no doubt, they will be bewildered, illusioned, like all the demons that we saw. the Kumbhakarna, and so on and so forth. The ignorant person believes I am the body and does everything for the pleasure of the body. So he cannot go beyond the concept of the body. 17.16, and serenity, simplicity, gravity, self control, and purity. Beautiful things: serenity, simplicity, gravity, self control, and purity of thought are the austerities of the mind. So, one beautiful example we can just take now is that of Sukha Muni and his father Vyasadeva. So, I think I was explaining this story that Sukadeva was not coming out of his mother's womb because by that time he was fully in the knowledge platform. He knew that once he comes out, then he will meet Maya outside. So he doesn't want to come out because he was already fully in the Suddha Sattva, already in the womb. And by that time, he was 16 years old. Then Lord Krishna came and requested, I promise you, Maya will not catch you. He came out, but then when he came out, he straight away, naturally he was, not having any clothes. So straight away with with his, one, let's say that water ball from his father, he took it and straight away he started going to jungle. So out of fatherly compassion, in fact, Vyasadeva said, "Oh son, oh my son, just stop, stop." So that was a time when they were passing by a pond where some of the women were taking bath. When Sukamani passed, they just stared. Nothing happened. But when Vyasa came, immediately they, you know, got their senses and they tried to cover themselves with the clothes, which they didn't do in case of Sukamani. So this question Vyasadeva asked, that what happened when Sukamani went, you didn't have that sense, and suddenly you are finding this sense when I come. Then they said, the person who went, he was not he was not even having a sense of the body. He was not in the bodily platform. So because he was not in the bodily platform, so we also could not feel that whether a man was going or a woman was going or who was going. So that sense of men and women was not there with him. But you are a great sage, but you are still, you know, thinking that he's a man, she is a woman, and all that. So that is the kind of austerity of mind Sukamani was having. Sraddhaya parayat tapam tapastatri vidham narehi afala kangshabhiryuktaihi satvikam parichakshate. This threefold austerity practiced by men whose aim is not to benefit themselves materially but to please the Supreme is of the nature of goodness. So, most important point is their aim is not to benefit themselves materially but to please the Supreme. The only purpose is to please Krishna, not for any material benefit. So, when we chant Hare Krishna, that is the mood. We don't want to have, something. We just want to please Krishna, and that is all. Thereby, we go to Krishna. Swarpamapi asya dharmasya. So, we can see Vrindavan Parikrama here. So many devotees with so much of devotion. They're going, and there is hot sun there. Govardhan Parikrama is such a large parikrama they're doing in under hot sun, and without, you can see there is no footwear, and with this all kind of pebbles and thorns and all that they're crossing. However, at the same time, there is no material benefit they're hoping. And also in Mayapur Parikrama, that through they have to go through the Bhagirathi and go to the Navadip. That also happens absolutely in the midday time in the hot sun. Those are the examples of the austerity practiced by men whose aim is not to benefit themselves material but to please Supreme, and that is called the goodness. Then comes the next. By default, the Raja will come now. So Satkaramana Pujartham Tapodambhena Chaivayat Kriyate Tat Iha Proktam Rajasam Chalam Adhruvam. Those ostentatious finances and austerities which are performed in order to gain respect honor, reverence are said to be in the mode of passion. So all these people who are doing, those kind of, uh, we saw the pictures, somebody is digging head, somebody is doing such kind of austerities. For what? For some respect, for some honor, for some reverence. Like, the austerities which Hiranyakashipu was doing, or Ravana was doing, or even Kumbhakarna was doing, all of them were doing to get some respect, some honor, some reverence, so that all the all other demigods, not only human but the demigods of Swarga, everybody will be under them. They will make them servants, and so many things. So we go to next. That is for Tama now. So Mudha Grahena Manahayat पीडाय क्रियते तपः परस्योत् साधनार्थं वा तत्तामसम् udahritam, and those penances and austerities which are performed foolishly by means of obstinate self-torture or to destroy or injure others are said to be in the mode of ignorance. Again, we come to the example of the Hiranyakashipu, who has become, absolutely skeletal. And what was his objective? He was trying to destroy not himself, first of all, torturing himself and destroying himself. And also, he's trying to destroy Swarga Loka. He's trying to destroy Indra. He's trying to destroy earthly planet. He was trying to destroy even the lower planets. Everything he was trying to destroy. Whoever comes in his way, he was trying to destroy. So, that kind of austerities is supposed to be in the mode of ignorance. Now, 17.2. Dhatavyam, now it is about charity. Dhatavyam iti yad danam diyate anupakarine dese kale cha patre cha taddanam satvikam smritam. That gift which is given out of duty at the proper time and place to a worthy person and without expectation of return is considered to be charity in the mode of goodness. We can see this beautiful example here. Prabhuji is giving, some scriptures, some maybe Gita. So he's giving to a person what is he's not expecting any material benefit. He's simply expecting that he becomes Krishna conscious. He definitely is giving on a particular good day. Maybe the day is Govardhan Puja, maybe the day is Janmashtami, maybe the day is Gita Jayanti. He choosing a good day also, to a worthy person also, and without expecting any return. What is he expecting? He's expecting that let him come to Krishna consciousness, like we are doing now. 17.21. Yattu pratyu Yattu pratyu pakarartham phalamuddissa va punaha diyate cha pariklishtam taddanam rajasam smritam. But charity performed with the expectation of some return or with a desire for fruity results or in a grudging mood is said to be charity in the mode of passion. So we can see the picture. What is it doing? Anyone? What is it doing? Hare Krishna.
He's giving charity, but he's taking selfies with the
Wonderful. So why he is taking selfie? Hare Krishna.
To get more price. I mean, to get more. What do you say?
So he is doing charity, no doubt on that. And charity will definitely bring him some punya.
Yeah.
Right? That is there. He will get some punya, but at the same time, he want to use it for some kind of publication, some kind of his interest, etc. All this he does. Politicians do it all the time during elections, right? And he might be doing it also out of what? Grudging mood. In the sense, some of his friend might have done it, so he might have come, he has done it. He's junior to me. Now let me also do some charity and, publicize in Facebook, media, and this and that. So even from the grudging mood also it might come. For the desire of fruity results also it will come. So this kind of charity is called supposed to be anaraja. But it is still good in the sense that it is not bad because he's not harming anyone. He is getting some punya for which he will go to higher planets. He may not get liberated, but at least he's not harming neither himself nor he's harming others. At least there is some goodness there, but not goodness in terms of quality, goodness in our normal societal term. Now 17.22. Adeshakale yaddanam apatre vyascha diyate asatkaram avajgatam tat tamasam udahrutam, and charity performed at any improper place and time and given to unworthy persons without respect. First of all, place is improper, time is improper, the person is not worthy, there is no respect, and with contempt is charity in the mode of ignorance. Let us see this picture now. What is he doing? Do you want to give him some money? Hare Krishna.
No
Would you
problem.
like to give him some money?
Yes, written help, but
No, no.
No, read it, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Uh, Hare Krishna. We
What is written
don't.
here? Help. I need money for weed.
No, we'll not give him the help.
So, so, so what is his unworthy person, first of all? He's into intoxication and he's asking for money. So this charity, if somebody does and he's thinking that he's doing a good charity because he's helping this person, he's pushing him to the hellish planets further. This is nothing but mode of ignorance. Goes without saying. I think very easy to understand. And also there is no time, there is no place. He's sitting somewhere. The person who is giving also not thinking of the time, some scriptural time, some auspicious occasion, nothing. So all this happens in the mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna. So best charity is for Krishna consciousness endeavors. That is the best charity. We can see how Krishna had jumped out of his throne and just doing the Padasava of Sudama. The Lord is the bestower of all benediction. If someone gives something to the Lord, he is not the loser. He is the gainer by million times. When we do anything for Krishna, Krishna reciprocates equally and more than that. And he also says, na, he takes care of yoga as well as kshama, yoga kshamam bahamyam. So what is not there, that he will take care, and what is there, he will preserve. So any chanting, even one round of chanting will be there eternally. Eternally. Just imagine one endeavor towards Krishna will remain in the eternity. Imagine. So use all the resources to enhance the mission of the Supreme. That's the best charity. Not only resources, but also your talents and abilities should be for the pleasure of the Lord. This person is doing, beautiful painting. He has that kind of talent. So he's using it for Krishna. Somebody can make, good food. So he can do it for Krishna as a prasadam. Somebody can make beautiful garland. So you can offer it to Krishna. So everything, all the qualities and talents and abilities that we have, we can all use that for the for the pleasure of Krishna. And there is no limit to it. If somebody is a good writer, he can write good, poems on Krishna. So many things can be done. I mean, the list is limitless. 17.23. From the beginning of creation, this is very important. From the beginning of creation, the three syllables Om Tat Sat have been used to indicate the supreme absolute truth, Brahman. They were uttered by Brahmanas while chanting Vedic hymns and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the Supreme. Therefore, Krishna said that Sarvai Vedahi Sarvaisha Ahmeva Vidyaha. So Brahmanas know that, and therefore they chant the Vedic hymn during the sacrifices. So, one example I can give, and it happens to many of us, maybe sometimes all of us. We help our relatives when they go to admission into the hospital, etc. etc. Even somebody in the road also happens. We do that sometimes, and sometimes in the sense that whenever there is an opportunity, we try to do that. Many of us helps our relatives also to go to the hospital, to get them admitted, take care of them. All that happens. Now, if there is a little bit of thought, because what is important is the intention with which we are doing this sacrifice. And based on the intention, it goes to the kind of the mode. So if the intention is to earn some punya, a flickering of seconds, suppose it comes, then it becomes rajasic. So you go to heaven, no doubt, or somewhere, but how to make it, transcendental? This is a formula Krishna has given here. He's saying after doing this, just chant Om Tat Sat. So whatever the sacrifice has happened, that becomes transcendental. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. But yes, he lives in our heart as the Upadrashta Anumanta, as a witness. So if you are having parallel thoughts that you know uttering Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, and a flickering parallel thought, okay, I think by this we'll also get some punya. Okay, by this we'll also get some punya. Now Upadrashta understand what is in your heart, and accordingly the mode will be decided. So what is the meaning of Om Tat Sat? Om means Vishnu, helps one to remember the Lord. Tat describes a detached work for sake of liberation, and Sat is eternal. So dedicate activity for the pleasure of Lord and his devotees. Om Tat Sat. It is there, so you can see. Thus, the transcendentalist undertakes sacrifices, charities, and penances, beginning always with the Om to attain the Supreme. So Rigveda, there is a beautiful mantra. Om Tat Vishnu Parampadam Sada Pashyanti Shuraya Didipa Chakshura Tatam Om Namo Narayanaya. Om means Vishnu. It is placed at the beginning of the Vedic hymns to indicate the supreme goal. And in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, it is written, factually, the transcendental sound Omkara, although a combination of the three letters, that is A, U, and Ma, has transcendental potency, and one who chants Omkara, that is Om, in Om, actually, there is A, U, and Ma. So it's like so that's how it is there. So what the verse says, Kare Kareno Karen sorry Kareno na uchyate Krishna sarva lokaika nayakaha Karaneno uchyate Radha ma karo jiva vachakaha. So akarana uchyate Krishna. The letter A refers to Krishna, which sarva lokaika nayaka. He is the supreme of uh, all the lokas, all the planets, the master of all living entities and planets, material and spiritual, and the letter U of the Om, O-U-M, is indicates Srimati Radharani, the pleasure potency of Krishna, and Ma, the Makara indicates the living entities. So therefore, Omkara is something which is purely transcendental. Om Tasya Vachakaha. It represents Krishna. So one should perform sacrifice, penance, and charity. So all three with the word Tat. Just Tat. The purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from the material entanglement. So when you're doing some sacrifice, some penance, some charity, and we utter Om Tat Sat, then the chance of becoming it rajasic goes. Of course, it is not applicable for the for the tamasic quality. It is applicable only for the rajasic, so that the rajasic can go to the transcendental mode, or even sattvic can go to the transcendental mode. So Tattvamasi is in the Chandogya Upanishad. Tat describes detached work for the sake of liberation. These activities are done with disregard for material results. So Krishna is giving so many shortcuts. In previous chapters, he had given the shortcuts that option 1, do Ananya Bhakti, option 2, not possible, do Sadhana Bhakti, not possible, give up the results, not possible, do some work for me, not possible, do some dhyana. So many options, so many shortcuts he's giving. Just do Om Tat Sat, now you become transcendental. Isn't it, Krishna is so merciful. Therefore, we say Krishna is having causeless mercy. He is so compassionate to all the living beings. He wants every one of us to get liberated and go to Goloka. 26, 27, the absolute truth is the objective of devotional sacrifice, and it is indicated by the word Sat, means eternal. These works of sacrifice of penance and charity, because three things we've talked about so far: sacrifice, penance, and charity, true to the absolute nature, are performed to please the Supreme Person, O Son of Partha, because Krishna is the absolute truth. So, Sadeva Samya, always beautiful. And Sat means eternal. Activity is done for the service of Lord, reveal the true spiritual nature. In such activity, the performer of actions become eternal. So when we chant Hare Krishna, the mantra is the mantra is eternal. So our activity also will become eternal. And the benefits of the activities are also eternal. But sacrifices, uh, this is the last verse. But sacrifices, austerities, and charities performed without faith in the Supreme are non-permanent, O son of Partha, regardless of whatever rites are performed. They are called asat and are useless both in this life and the next. So this is the final rider given by Krishna is that one may be doing a lot of rituals. He's thinking that he's doing, you know, everything perfectly. People sometimes boast, we see, I have done, that fast, some kind of fast with some demigod worship. So they were doing some austerities, and as per I did at this time, that time, etc., etc. They absolutely on the rituals, and immediately after completion of that, immediately that for certain days they remain they don't they are away from intoxication, they are away from the sense pleasures, etc., etc. The moment those times are over, like for example Navaratra over, then immediately first thing on the 10th that they will do is to take non-veg. So Krishna is saying that if all these are austerity, charities, and performed without faith in Supreme are non-permanent, faith that is there. If so, the austerity is the example that I've given. They were definitely not doing with the faith of Krishna, because if the faith is there with Krishna, then our only objective should have been what? To please Krishna. If that is not the objective, then there is no faith. Then everything is basically business to get some benefit. And thereby, even after thousands of years of all this austerity, sacrifices, charities, nothing will remain eternal, because those are asat. That is, untruth, and will be temporary and will be lost and will be useless both in this life and in the next life. So we come to an end of this chapter. Arjuna's inquiry about the unauthorized worship. What happens when they do that? That was also explained. That in that also there are modes. Lord Krishna answers three modes determine one's faith and worship. So Sattva people go to demigods, the Raja to the demons, and the Tama to the ghosts and goblins and spirits. Foods in three modes. So Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic food. So Sattvic was juicy, sweet, very very pleasing taste, beneficial for health and all that. Then Tamasic was salty, hot, pungent, and the Rajasic was that, and Tamasic was all decomposed, uh, putrid, smelly, cooked after 3 hours and all that. And also we saw sacrifices in the three modes, three kinds of austerity we saw, charity in three modes, and finally Om Tat Sat. That Om Tat Sat, one chant of Om Tat Sat sanctifies the whole of sacrifice, charity, and austerity in one go. Hare Krishna, we come to an end. Tomorrow is the tomorrow is the concluding class. So I request and submit that everyone should come tomorrow. Hare Krishna. So we end here. So I stop sharing, and any question? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prasiddh Bhushan Prabhu ji or Josna Mata ji, Santoni Prabhu ji, anyone?
No questions, Prabhuji. Just I was listening to the 17th chapter. Sorry, I
You are
did
not. Sorry. See, can you be a little louder, Prabhu ji?
Yeah. There's no questions. But actually, I missed one of the classes yesterday.
Okay, no problem. I think there is a YouTube. You can see that. Hare Krishna.
No. I completed the quiz. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
It's,
Yes. Thank you
yeah.
so much.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, so let us have a one round of Hare Krishna together, and then we end the class because that is the objective. The full Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. 1, 2, 3, start.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare.
We can sing also. So we stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Let's